In the next 8 days, I'll be taking you through a 4-part series on personal finance. Now, here's how it will go. Now, in the first part of this series, which is this video you're watching right now, I'll be taking you through a beginner's guide to personal finance. Now, I will explain to you everything you need to know about personal finance and why financial literacy is very important. Now, whether you believe it or not, a lot of people out there, maybe including you that you're watching this video right now, you just hear about personal finance, financial literacy, financial education, and so on here and there, but you don't even know what all of these things are all about and why they are important. But in this video, I'll be explaining everything you need to know about personal finance, financial literacy, and financial education. So make sure you watch this video to the end so that you don't miss any important information. And then in the second part of this series, I'll be teaching you how to make money and how to get rich. Now, it is going to be a complete guide where you'll be able to learn everything you need to know about making money both actively and passively, and both online and offline. I will explain and teach you different business ideas and money-making ideas. And not just that, I'll be showing you a step-by-step guide on how you can start and go ahead to make money from all of the ideas I'll be explaining to you in the second part of this series. And I'm sure you definitely don't want to miss that. And then in the third part of this series, I'll be teaching you a full guide on how to invest your money. Now, we teach you the different kinds of investments out there and how you can start making money from each of these investments. And I will also teach you how to identify investment scams so that you don't fall for them. And then in the fourth part of the series, which will be the last one, I will teach you how to manage your money like the rich. Now, in that video, you're going to learn the complete guide on what managing money is really all about. You will learn how to budget your money, how to plan your finances, and even how to save your money the right way. So you see that there's a lot to learn in the next 8 days on this channel. So if you are ready for this, please like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of these videos I've mentioned. Thank you. Now let's get into the first part of the series. The first section is Introduction to Personal Finance, and again I'll talk about what is personal finance all about, why is financial literacy important, and the common financial mistakes people make. Now let's start with what is personal finance all about. Now, as you can see on the screen, personal finance is the process of managing your money to achieve financial stability and long-term wealth. It includes budgeting, saving, investing, and making smart financial decisions to meet personal goals like buying a home, retiring comfortably, or starting a business. So what's the meaning of this? Now, in summary, personal finance means the way you manage your personal money. That is the money you make for yourself. How do you manage it? So it includes how you budget your money, how you save your money, how you invest your money, and the financial decisions you are making with your money. And most importantly, it involves talking about how you make money. So all of these things are things we're going to be covering in this free guide. So that's basically what personal finance is all about. So if you have been the kind of person that you have been mismanaging your personal finance or your personal money, then this free guide is for you. So make sure you watch this free guide with 100% attention and make sure you watch it till the end. Now, the next thing is, what are the key aspects of personal finance? Now, the first aspect is earning money. That is how you make money. Now, before managing money, you need to earn it, and income sources can include salary. That is, you can make money from salary. That is, wages from a full-time job or a part-time job. And then you can make money from side hustles. That is, you can try freelancing, online businesses, or passive income streams. And then you can try investment where you get returns from stocks, real estate, crypto, or even dividends. So that's the first main aspect of personal finance, making money. That's like the bedrock of personal finance, making money or earning money, because you actually need to make money before you now start thinking of how do you manage this money, how do you multiply this money. So I'll be talking about different ways you can make money in this free guide. So from there, the second aspect of personal finance will be budgeting and expense tracking. So you're already making money, then the next thing is, how do you budget and track your expenses? So you can see right here, it says budgeting helps you control your spending and avoid unnecessary debt. Now, a popular method is the 50-30-20 rule. Now, what's this rule? Now, this rule means that 50% of your income should go into your needs. Now, what are your needs? Your needs are things that you can't do without. They are things that you must spend money on them in a month or in a year. And those needs include your rent, your food, your utilities, transportation, and so on. So these are your needs. So that means that 50% of your money, or 50% of your salary, or 50% of your income should go into your needs. Now, the next one is 30% should go into your wants. Now, what are your wants? Your wants are things that you can still do without them. So it's not compulsory you spend money on them. You only spend money on them maybe for fun or for other things. And they include entertainment, shopping, and hobbies. Now, the last one will be the 20%. So that means 20% of your income should go into your savings and investment. So this means that you should invest and save at least 20% of your income. So you can put that into your emergency fund, maybe your retirement plan, or your investment. So you put 20% of your money into savings and investment. So that is the second aspect of personal finance. Now, the third aspect of personal finance is saving money and building an emergency fund. So you see that the first aspect was making money, so you're already making money. Then the second aspect is to budget that money and track your expenses. So after you've done that, then the next thing is to start saving money and building an emergency fund. Because planning for financial crisis is something that everyone needs to take important. So you can see right here, it says savings protect you from financial crisis. So if you are saving money and then you face financial crisis, you can use your savings or even your emergency fund to save yourself from financial crisis. And to save money or build an emergency fund, you should aim to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses for emergencies. So what's the meaning of this? Now, for example, let's say you're the kind of person that maybe after tracking your expenses for some months, you see that you're the kind of person who is spending $500 on your expenses every month. So averagely, you spend $500. So this means that in your emergency fund, you must have at least $1,500 or up to $3,000 in your emergency fund. That is the meaning. So it means save 3 to 6 months of living expenses for emergencies. Now, the second one is use high yield savings accounts for better returns. So if you want to save money or keep money for emergency fund, make sure you're using high interest savings account. So use savings account that will give you interest on your money, not that you just keep your money and it will be idle and it will be losing its value. So make sure you're using a high yield savings account that will give you interest on your money. And then the third one is to automate savings so you don't forget. So this is very, very important. Make sure you automate your savings so that maybe at the beginning of every month or maybe at the end of every month, a particular amount will be deducted from your bank account or from your card to your savings account. I hope you understand that. So that's the third aspect of personal finance. Now, the fourth aspect is investing for growth. So you're already making money, you're tracking your expenses, and then you have an emergency fund. Then the fourth thing is obviously to start investing your money so you can multiply that money. Now, investing helps grow your wealth over time. Now, smart investments include, number one, you have stock market. So for stock market investing, you have buying shares in companies for long-term gain. So this means that you invest in stocks so that you can make money in the long term. And we're going to be talking about stocks later in this video. Now, the second aspect will be real estate. So you can invest in real estate by buying properties for rental income or value appreciation. And then the third one will be crypto and NFT. So you can invest in digital assets with potential high returns, but also high risk. And then you have bonds and mutual funds. So these ones are low risk investment that will give you steady returns. So don't worry, I'll talk about all of this investment and even more later in this guide. So that's the fourth aspect of personal finance. Now, the fifth aspect of personal finance is wealth building and financial freedom. So you're already investing your money. Then the next one is to start building wealth and reaching or getting to financial freedom. Now, the ultimate goal of personal finance is to achieve financial freedom where you don't have to work for money, but it works for you. So instead of you working for money at this point or at this rate, your money starts working for you and your money starts making more money for you. Now, to do this, you need to invest wisely. That is, invest in assets that will most likely make you money in the long term, and also increase your income stream. So if you're already making money from one income stream or two, look for how you can increase it to 4 or 5 or 6, and then control your expenses to reach this stage. So these are the 3 important things you can do to reach financial freedom or wealth building. Again, invest wisely, increase your income streams, and control your expenses. So these are the 5 main aspects of personal finance. If you can follow all of these aspects step by step, then you definitely reach financial freedom. But take note that it is not a one-day thing, it takes gradual process. So now that you know the key aspects of personal finance, the next thing is, why is financial literacy important? Why do you need to understand financial literacy? Now, financial literacy is the ability to understand and manage money effectively. It includes skills like budgeting, saving, investing, and avoiding debt. And in today's world, being financially literate is crucial for achieving financial stability, growing wealth, and avoiding financial mistakes. So this means that financial literacy helps you to understand how you manage your money. There are some people who had money some years ago and today they are nowhere to be found, and that's because when they were making money, they never managed the money effectively, or they never managed the money money very well. But if you are financially literate, you'll be able to know how you can manage your money effectively. And that is why financial literacy is important. Now, financial literacy is important because of the following reasons. Now, number one is it helps you manage money wisely. I've talked about this. Now, number two is that it encourages smart investing. Now, there are a lot of people who just invest their money anyhow or in assets that they don't even believe in, or they just invest their money because someone is saying invest in this and they just put their money in that asset. That is not how you invest. If you are financially literate, you'll be able to know the right way to invest and you start investing in a smart way. And the third reason why financial literacy is important is that it prepares you for emergencies. So this is for the aspect where I talked about building an emergency fund and saving your money. Now for number 4, it helps you to build wealth and financial freedom. And number 5, it helps you to avoid financial scams. Now if you are financially literate, you'll be able to easily spot financial scams from far away. So financial literacy is important for all of these 5 reasons. Now, let's talk about the common financial mistakes that people make. Now, many people struggle financially not because they don't earn enough money, but because they make avoidable money mistakes. Now, understanding these mistakes can help you manage money better, avoid debt, and build wealth faster. So there are so many financial mistakes that people make, and that is why so many people are struggling financially. There are a lot of people who are making good amount of money every month as their income, but yet they still struggle financially. And again, it is because they make some financial mistakes, which I will be explaining in this guide. And when you understand these financial mistakes and you know that, oh, you are doing this mistake, you'll be able to stop that mistake, and from there you can manage your money in a better way. Now let's talk about those financial mistakes. Now the first one is living paycheck to paycheck. Now, many people spend everything they earn without saving for the future, and this can lead to financial stress when emergencies arise. Now, what is the meaning of this? Or what even is the meaning of living paycheck to paycheck? Now, living paycheck to paycheck means that whatever amount you make is whatever amount you are spending, which is very, very bad. So it means that if you are making, let's say, $2,000 every month, you're also spending $2,000 every month. That is very, very bad. You need to be setting money aside for your savings and investment, which is very, very important. There are so many people that when they make money, they just start spending lavishly, and before the end of the month they've spent everything they earned in that month, and then they start waiting for the next paycheck, and from there they spend again, and they keep following that cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, which is very, very wrong. Now, how do you avoid this mistake? Now, the first way is to track your income and expenses. So for this, you need to track how much you're making every month. That's if you have multiple sources of income. You need to know, okay, from income 1, how much is entering into my account? From income 2, how much is entering into my account? And so on. And then you need to track your expenses. That is, what are you spending money on? For you to be living paycheck to paycheck, you need to understand what is taking your money the most and how you can reduce it. So that is very important. And then the second way to avoid it is to follow the 50-30-20 budgeting rule, which I already explained earlier in this guide, where I said 50% of your income goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and 20% goes to your savings and investments. So this way you're not living paycheck to paycheck. Now, the third way to avoid this mistake is to increase your income through side hustles or better job opportunities. So this means that you need to try different side hustles. If you have a skill, look for how you can turn that skill to side hustle. Or maybe if you're interested in 9 to 5, look for how you can get better job opportunities than what you currently have. So following these 3 important steps can help you avoid living paycheck to paycheck. So that's the first mistake people make. Now, the second mistake is not having multiple income streams. Now, relying on a single source of income is very risky, and if you lose your job or your business slows down, you will be in financial trouble. Now, what is the meaning of this? There are so many people who are living on just one source of income, which is very wrong. If you really want to build wealth and attain financial freedom, you need to have more than one source of income, and I always advise that you have at least 3 or even 4 sources of income. Now, how do you avoid this mistake? Now, the first one is to start a side hustle. So you can start freelancing or start a YouTube channel or even start e-commerce or try other side hustles out there. Just try something outside your day job so that you can know that you are making money from other sources of income and it's not just your 9 to 5 or your business that is bringing money. Try different things. Now, the second way to avoid this mistake is to invest in stocks, real estate, or crypto for passive income. So instead of relying on your day job, just take out of your salary or money from your business and invest it in stocks, real estate, crypto. And these assets can give you passive income for life. Now, the third way to avoid this mistake is to learn high income skills. So you can learn tech skills, crypto trading, or forex trading, or learn digital marketing, and so on. There are so many high income skills out there that you can learn for free on YouTube. So these are the 3 important ways you can avoid this mistake. So that's the second mistake people make. So the third mistake people make is overspending and lifestyle inflation. Now, this means that as income increases, many people increase their spending on luxury items and unnecessary things, which is lifestyle inflation, instead of saving or investing. Now, what's the meaning of this? So let's say, for example, you are the kind of person who is earning $1,000 every month right now. Maybe by next month, maybe the company you're working for, they increase your salary to $1,500 per month. Now, what you need to do at that point is to make sure that you are living as if you are making $1,200, and the $300 on top, you can start saving and investing. That means you are increasing the amount you are saving or investing. But instead of doing that, so many people will just assume that, oh, because I'm already making more money, let me be spending more money. And then they start going for expensive things, expensive luxuries, and so on. So that is a big mistake a lot of people are doing, especially young people. Now, how do you avoid this mistake? Now, the first way to avoid this mistake is avoid unnecessary upgrades. That is buying a luxury car when a normal one works fine. So if you're the kind of person who is making more money, or maybe your income has increased, and maybe you want to buy a car, and instead of you going for a big car or a luxury car, you can just buy a normal car or an average car and start with that. Don't let your first car be one big car because you're already making money. Stack up money first before you start spending unnecessarily. Now, the second way to avoid this mistake is to spend below your means and invest the extra money. So like I said before, you can just start living below your means. If your income increases from $1,000 to $1,500, be living as if you are earning $1,200, and the remaining $300 on top, add it to whatever you have been saving or investing before. And then the third way to avoid this is to differentiate between your wants and your needs. Now, before you spend money on anything, ask yourself, do you really want it or do you really need it? Then if it's that you just want it, then you might not need to spend money on it. But if it's that you really need it, then you can go ahead and spend money on it. So you must be able to identify, oh, do you want it or do you need it? You need it means that you can spend money on it. You want it means that you don't really need to spend money on it. I hope you understand. So that's another mistake. Now, the next one is depending too much on debt. Now, this means that credit cards, payday loans, and personal loans can trap you in a cycle of debt if not managed properly. Now, there are so many people that depend too much on debt. There are so many people that after they spend the money they've made that month finish, they will now go ahead and be borrowing money from people. They'll borrow money from this, borrow money from that, and then before you know it, they are in so much debt. This is a big mistake that people are doing. Now, how do you avoid this mistake? Now, the first one is use credit cards only if you can pay them off monthly. So for example, if you are using a credit card, or maybe you are in a country that they offer credit cards, if you are using your credit card, make sure that you are able to pay off your credit card every month. Even if you can't pay everything, make sure you can pay a huge amount of your debt every month. Now, the second one is to avoid high interest loans. So if you're the kind of person that you take loans, make sure you avoid high interest loans. Really, really important. And then number three is to live below your means. So this means that you should live below whatever you are making as your income. So that's how you can avoid this mistake. Now, the next one is not investing early. There are so many people who are not investing early. Now, many people delay investing because they think they need a lot of money. But time is more important than the amount you invest. Now, there are a lot of people out there who are not investing their money because they think they need a lot of money to invest. Now, when I was in the university and I discussed with my friends about different ways they can invest their money, one excuse they keep giving is, oh, I don't have a lot of money, I just have a little amount of money. But that is not the right thing to say. What you just need to do is to invest as little as you can. If today you are investing $10, before you know it, you'll be investing $50 or even $100. So start investing today and start investing with as little as you can. You don't need to start investing with huge amount of money. You can start with $1, $5, $10. There are different platforms out there that can allow you to invest with as little as $1 or even $5. So make sure you start investing early. So how do you avoid this mistake of not investing early? Now, the first one is to start investing as early as possible, even with small amounts. So I already discussed this. Even if it's just tiny amounts, start investing. Now, the second way is to use compound interest to grow your money over time. So this means that if you invest in an asset, leave the asset to make more money for you, and then the money you make from that asset will make more money for you, and thereby your money starts making more income for you over time. So if you start investing now, in like 3 years, 4 years, or even 5 years, if you are still investing in that asset, maybe stocks or crypto or any form of passive income, for example, that investment will start making money for you or start making tangible money for you after like 3 years or 5 years. I hope you understand. And then the third way is to invest in stocks, ETFs, real estate, or crypto based on your risk level. So you can invest in all of these assets based on your risk level. Now, the next mistake is falling for scams and get-rich-quick schemes. Now, scammers promise unrealistic returns to lure people into Ponzi schemes, fake investments, and forex or crypto scams. Now, there are a lot of people out there that they'll come to you and tell you, if you invest in us, we will give you 100% in a month, 50% in a month, and so on. Those things are unrealistic returns. Trust me, and that is what scammers are using to lure people into all of these fake investment. Now, how do you avoid this mistake, or how do you identify scams? Now, the first thing is, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So if you hear about an investment and they tell you they're giving 100% returns in a month, the first thing you need to ask yourself is this really true? If it's too good to be true, then it's probably too good to be true. So it's a lie. Just don't believe it. 100% returns in a month is too high and it is unrealistic. Now, the second way to avoid this is research investment before putting in your money. Before you put your money in any investment, do your research about that investment. Is it really worth your money? What are the reviews that the investment has gotten from people? What are people saying about the investment? And so on. Make sure you do your research. Don't say because it is your friend who is recommending it, then you go ahead and put your money into it. Be very careful. And then the third way to avoid this is to learn basic financial literacy to identify scams. So for example, this guide you are watching, you are learning basic financial literacy. So after this guide, you'll be able to identify scams easily. So for example, someone promising to double your money in a week is running a scam. So if someone is telling you that you get 100% returns in a week, or maybe in 2 weeks, or even a month, it is definitely a scam. So that's another mistake people make. Now, the second mistake people make is not having an emergency fund. Now, life is unpredictable. Job loss, medical emergencies, or unexpected expenses can happen anytime. Now, without savings, you might be forced to take high interest loans or sell assets. Now, there are so many people out there that are not prepared for any emergencies in their lives, whether job loss or medical emergencies. So many people are not prepared for this. And when they experience any of these emergencies, they start borrowing money up and down. So that's a big mistake people make. Now, how do you avoid this mistake of not having an emergency fund? Now, the first thing is to save 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund. I already explained this earlier, that let's say, for example, you are the kind of person who is spending $500 every month. Make sure you have at least $1,500 up to $3,000 in your emergency fund. Now, the next one is to keep this money, that is the emergency fund, in a high yield savings account for easy access. So this means that you need to put that money in a high yield savings account so that you can get interest on your money, and so that you can easily get access to your money when you need it for the emergencies. And then for number 3, automate savings so you don't forget. So you can easily automate your savings, or use savings app that will allow you to automate your transactions. So that means that maybe every month or every week, the savings app will come into your bank account and take a specific amount and help you save in your high yield savings account. I hope you understand. So that's another mistake. Now, the next one is failing to set financial goals. Now, without clear financial goals, you will really struggle to save money, invest money, or even grow wealth. There are so many people that if you ask them that what are your financial goals for the next 1 year or for the next 2 years, they will say nothing. They're just living with vibes. And that is really wrong. You need to have financial goals. Now, to avoid that, the first thing you need to do is to set short-term, that is 1 year, or mid-term, that is 5 years, and long-term, that is 10+ years goals. So you can set short-term goals, that is goals you want to achieve in the next 1 year, or set mid-term goals, that is goals you want to achieve in the next 5 years, or set long-term goals, that is goals you want to achieve in the next 10 years. Now, setting these goals will really help you focus on getting better financially. Because let's say, for example, you say you want to save, let's say, $100,000 in 1 year. That means that every time you look at your goal and you see that, oh, you are not yet reaching that milestone, you'll be motivated to want to reach that milestone. So you'll be motivated to save more money. I hope you get it. Now, the next way to avoid this is to break them into specific actionable steps. That is, break those goals into specific actionable steps. So for example, let's say you want to save $5,000 in 12 months. What you just need to do is break down this $5,000 into 12 and save that amount you get every month. And in 12 months, you will have $5,000. So that way, you are breaking that goal into specific actionable steps. Now, the third one is to track your progress and adjust when necessary. Now, every week or every month, ensure you are tracking the progress of your financial goals. So you can see that, oh, am I really getting to my financial goals, or can I attain these financial goals? And by the time you see it, you can make some adjustment to your financial goals regularly. So that's another mistake. And the last mistake is not learning about personal finance. Now, most people never take time to learn about money, leading to costly mistakes. A lot of people don't know anything about investing. I've met some people and asked them questions about investing, and they know nothing about investing. There are so many people that they are over 30 and they have never invested 1 penny of their money. They have never. And this is actually bad. This is really bad. You need to learn about how to save money, how to invest money, how to manage money the right way, how to make money with different income streams. You need to learn all of these things about money. If you don't learn all of these things, it will lead to so many financial mistakes. Now, how do you avoid this? Now, the first way is to read personal finance books. There are so many people that have never read any personal finance book in their life. You need to read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Psychology of Money, and so on. These books can really help you to understand how to make money, how to invest money, and how to manage your money the right way. And number 2 is to follow finance experts on YouTube and social media. Now, I'm not saying you should follow anyhow person. Make sure you follow people that you can really trust their advice and people that you can really learn from. Now, the third one is to take online courses on investing, budgeting, and wealth building. You can go online and check for courses that can teach you on how to invest your money, how to budget your money, and how to build wealth. All of these things can really help you. So these are the different financial mistakes that people make, and if you can avoid all of these mistakes, you will really grow financially, trust me. So that's the first section of this free guide. So I hope you've been able to learn everything about personal finance, why financial literacy is important, and the common financial mistakes people make. Now, learning all of these things will really help you build a strong financial foundation. So that's for the part 1 of this series. Now, for the part 2 of this series, which is the next video, you'll be learning how to make money and how to get rich. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a complete guide where you'll be able to learn everything about how you can make money both actively and passively, and both online and offline. In that video, I'll be teaching you different business ideas and different money making ideas, and I will also show you the step-by-step guide on how you can start them and how you can go ahead to make money from all of the ideas I'll be giving to you in that video. And I'm sure you definitely don't want to miss the part 2 of this series. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you know when the part 2 of this series is out. And just in case, maybe by the time you are watching this video, maybe the part 2 and the part 3 of this series will be out by then the part 2 of the series will be right here, the video right here, just click on it, and the part 3 of the series will be right here on my left side. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the part 2 of this series. Bye.